Well, President Trump is backing several candidates in today's elections as he looks to extend his winning streak. You know, he's 20-1 backing Republican candidates. But his support of Chris Kobach for Kansas governor could be his riskiest move yet. Party leaders are reportedly warning the president that this candidate is unpopular with the state's general electorate. Let's bring in the power panel, Liz Peek, FoxNews.com columnist, and also back from Outnumbered, Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio talk show host. So I want to go to you, Liz, because we heard a little bit from Leslie. Let's freshen the conversation now. What do you make of this?
I think Trump is incredibly empowered with his own political instincts, and he knows that in November it's going to be all about turnout. Who is going to bring more people out to vote in November? And I think he decided it was Kobach. And I actually don't disagree with him. I mean, he is a candidate who very much appeals to the base, is very strong on immigration, law and order issues, things that will actually motivate people to come to the polls.
And Leslie, I know you say that there's some problematic areas for him.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I don't agree with you on that. I think with Twitter, for example, very knee-jerk. And I think it's very knee-jerk, and he's very loyal to people that have been loyal to him. And I think that's what we see with Kobach, which is,
well, most people are, by the way.
True. But there are some people that take their party's advice when they go, no, not a good idea. And like you said, yeah, there are some troubled areas. And I'm not just talking about the voter fraud commission. I'm also talking about the allegations of 3 individuals who've worked on his campaign and associations that he allegedly has had with white supremacy organizations or organizations that are linked to white supremacist organizations. And I think I said it, earlier. I want Kobach to win because I think it will be easier for Democrats in the general election to get a leg up in a very red district.
That's what all the left-wing media is saying. Forgive me, but that is actually the narrative that's coming out of most Democrat mouths, is that this is very good for Democrats because it will inspire them to turn out. And it's possible. I think that's totally true. But this is going to be an election about which base is more fired up. And I think that's why Trump went to Ohio. That's why he's out there. He is going to be campaigning for this fellow. And yes, by the way, I think some of it was about loyalty, but I admire that, actually. I think it's good to stand by the people who have been really particularly loyal to you, and he was.
I don't want to glaze by what you just said, but it's interesting. It is hunting season politically. And if you've got something anywhere, and I watched the gymnastics move, listened to it, Leslie, that you just did. Were they groups? Were they groups of groups? I mean, this sort of gets us far afield. You've got to have a pro message. And what is the Democrat on the ground? What is that person's pro message? Because that's what people are looking at. You've got to oppose the economy with a pro message.
Yes, people are looking for that, but unfortunately, people also listen to and read and watch wherever they're getting their information, that headline. And if they have a lot of negativity in a headline, you remember, the enthusiasm of the Democrats and the disdain for the president will energize people on the left to vote, and the opposite, the love for the president and the support for the president and that faction of the Republican Party will get some of those people out.
Is it love or cash?
Well,
tax cuts, jobs.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly right. I mean, so what this election is going to come down to is basically the base on both sides and then the independents who are going to be swayed, I think, by the economy. Trump is going to go out there and his surrogates and the candidates and say, do you really want to change things?
Liz, Leslie, thank you. We'll be right back.